Please come, Pururaj. Have a
sir.
seat. Have a seat.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Please.
Have a
Thank you,
seat.
sir.
Pururaj, you have seen that you have done a research paper. What was that research paper on?
So my research paper was on solvent-assisted reactive chromatography.
Okay, that's too technical.
Yes, sir. I'll make it simpler for the honorable member, sir. So it's a novel technique that whenever we see a reaction which is limited by its equilibrium conditions, sir, we will try to move that reaction in the forward direction by extracting the products from it. So in my research paper, sir, we combined the reaction as well as distillation part in the same unit, sir. And in that way, we were able to separate them
Okay,
effectively.
we'll move forward. You're talking to an absolute non-technical person, so maybe some other person member may pick it up on that. Okay.
Surely, sir.
Now, there is a statement which has been made by a renowned sociologist that good economics makes for bad politics. Now, what do you agree with this statement or do you disagree with this statement? Can you give me the reasons for that? Good economics makes for bad politics.
So if I may take a minute, sir.
Sure.
Sir, to my understanding, this statement may signify that if the economics aspect of a particular policy are robust, then even if the policy may be designed in some ways that may leave it vulnerable in future, the economics aspect might take care of it policy. For
the
instance,
question is, good economics makes for bad politics. Do you agree?
I apologize,
disagree?
sir. I may not be able to think on this at the
Why?
moment.
It's a very simple statement, and there is something which, as policymakers, you will be confronted with. There is nothing out of the text. Apply your mind. You've got a fine mind.
Yes, sir. I apologize. I may
Okay,
not.
we'll move on to some other things. Did demonetization achieve its objectives? It was done nearly about 4 years back. So has it achieved its objectives?
Sir, according to RBI reports, it was highlighted that the key objective of demonetization was to counter and eliminate black money. And to the surprise of RBI, 99.3% of the notes returned back. So I believe that the main objective was not very much achieved. However, sir, a key positive was also highlighted that the digital payments in India soared after it, and the digital backbone of the economy is further strengthened, sir.
And this digital strengthening of the digital backbone will imply what?
Sir, it implies the digital public infrastructure system that we have today. We have the UPI system and
From the perspective of, let's say, black money. I'm giving you a very strong hint.
Yes, sir. Sir, digital payments will imply that the black money aspect may be suitably countered in future, sir, because that money will obviously leave a trail behind.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Achha, now, even though foreign service is your fourth preference, what are the main drivers of India's foreign policy? And these drivers can be both internal and external.
So the foremost driver is securing the public interest of our citizens in the most peaceful and most diplomatic ways possible, sir. And second driver would be to establish India as a pole in international politics, sir. This driver becomes important because historically India.
No, that's fine. Let's be brief. I have understood.
Yes, sir. And third,
what has ensured that India has now playing a more significant role in international politics? What are the reasons for it?
Sir, India's diplomacy has become more energetic, as highlighted by our External Affairs Minister as well. And the institution building aspect, which was somewhat missing in the past, has taken a forefront. We have seen International Solar Alliance and newer leadership style in G20 as well, sir.
Any other driver?
Sir, in
You are missing one or two very important drivers.
so in the economy aspect,
Exactly.
yes, sir, we are the
Because India's economy is doing so
Yes, sir.
well, India is able to play a very significant role.
yes, sir.
Any external factor which is facilitating India?
Sir, technological realignment with global powers is a key factor which I see today. For instance, with USA and France in the recent past, and there was also a visit by French president.
Okay, fine. Another very important factor. What is the commonality of interest between US and India?
So the first commonality which comes to my mind is countering the regional hegemony posed by China, sir.
Okay, that is it. Is that not an external factor? That there is a commonality of interest between US and China?
Yes, sir, definitely it is.
And that is also reflected in some other alliance?
Yes, sir, it's reflected in Quad.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, PURURAJ.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Pururaj, you have a very, very impressive and interesting profile. That's really remarkable. You have IIT from in chemical engineering
Yes, sir.
from IIT Mumbai. That's one of the most prestigious institutions. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
And you play snooker and pool also.
Yes.
You get time for that. Maybe after getting into service, I don't know how much time you will get. Now, taking on from what the chairman was asking about demonetization, what do you know about the black economy? Can you define what is black economy?
Sir, I may not have the technical definition of it, sir, but I may gauge that black economy would mean the economy which is running parallel to the legitimate economy that we have, sir.
Tell me, what is the total value of currency which is in the black economy today? Any numbers that you can think of, or you must have read, there have been articles appearing about it.
Sir, I may vaguely recall a number which was highlighted in a consultancy firm's report, sir. It was around 30 to 40% of GDP, which is a very significant number, sir.
It is actually 62% of GDP.
So it then becomes very much significant, sir.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Anyway, so now coming back to your chemical engineering, you have heard about the Bhopal gas tragedy?
Yes, sir.
There was a disaster which took place. What was the gas which leaked out of that?
Sir, the unfortunate incident occurred because of methyl isocyanate, sir.
What is the chemical composition of methyl isocyanate?
I apologize, sir. I am unable to recall it correctly.
Okay, just read about it, okay?
Yes, sir. Surely.
Now, can you also tell me, now being a chemical engineer, what are the acts which are governing, prevention of these chemical disasters? Which are the various acts that you look at? Is there any legal framework surrounding it or not?
Sir, I may recall only one act, sir. This is Environment Protection Act.
Is that the only act?
No, sir. Since it comes under criminal liability of on the part of the company, sir, IPC sections may also be invoked in this case, sir. But as far as the specific chemical aspect is concerned, I'll have to read on it, sir.
Just read about the acts, okay?
Yes,
Have you heard about NDMA?
Sir, it's National Disaster Management Authority.
So Disaster Management Act, when was it enacted?
So it was enacted in 2005, sir.
5. How many members are there in NDMA?
I apologize, sir. I do not know.
Just read about it, okay? Now, have you heard about the Aspirational Districts program of the government?
Yes, sir.
So, how many aspirational districts are there, and who has initiated this program?
So there are 112 aspirational districts in this program, and I may not recall the exact year in which it was initiated, but it works towards improving certain key performance indicators in these particular districts, sir, because these are the ones which were very much laggard as compared to other districts, sir, and they need special focus in this regard, sir.
Tell me, what are the three most important achievements of this government which have impacted a common man that you are encouraged to join the civil service?
So first and foremost comes to my mind is the digital public infrastructure, which has been strengthened presently, and it may reduce corruption to a great extent. Secondly, sir, would be the push for the capital expenditure, which may create positive externalities as well as multiplier effect in future, sir. And the capital expenditure has been gradually increasing as we have seen in the last few budgets, sir. Lastly, sir, the defense strength of our country is being significantly strengthened via the Atmanirbharta program and INS Vikrant, Tejas fighter planes, etc.
Shall we call it Make in India or Made in China?
Sir, I would definitely call it Make in India, sir.
What is the imports? Do you know what is the level of imports from China today?
Sir, you are specifically asking about defense industry.
Defense industry itself.
Sir, I apologize. I am not aware about the defense industry.
Russia?
Yes, sir. India has been historically key importer from Russia, sir.
How much? What percentage? Any idea?
Sir, I only may remember that the import dependence on Russia is continuously declining in the present, sir, because India has been diversifying. However, I do not recall the exact number, sir.
Yeah, just brush up a bit. Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Puru,
Yes.
some people are of the opinion that IITs have not done enough in the field of applied research in the applied sciences. What is your take on that? Even one of the directors of IIT openly said that we have failed the country in this regard. What is your opinion on that?
Sir, I believe strongly that IITs are leading in India but are lagging in the international sense, and due to following reasons, sir.
No, I'm specific to the research, field of research in applied sciences, not generalized. What is your take on that?
Sir, applied sciences research may be lagging due to the following reasons. In IITs, we have very low inter-IIT coordination in research, sir.
So you admit that the statement is correct?
Yes, sir. I admit that there has been, although there has been a renewed push in this direction to improve this, but the aspect is laggard.
What is the renewed push?
Sir, renewed push in the recent budget was that 1 lakh crore has been specifically assigned to boost startups in the research and development dimension, sir.
For the IITs?
Sir, it will be used for the IITs, IICs and other institutions as well, sir.
Mm-hmm. Is that all?
Sir, I believe that the brain drain aspect from IITs is also a key factor for the diminishing results in the research aspect, sir. And in this direction, sir, joint research and development is being highlighted by the government via the same personnel who went out, gathered research knowledge, and then we can get that knowledge from those individuals, sir.
Sounds very good. Let's see. Who planned Jaipur city? Who planned Jaipur city?
Sir, I may recall that the architect's name is Vidyadhar Bhattacharya, sir.
Very right. And what is Jaipur famous for? Apart from Amber Fort and apart from Pink City, what else is Jaipur famous for? Why is unemployment rate so high in Rajasthan as compared to the rest of the country?
Sir, unemployment rate is especially high among the youth due to following reasons, sir. Firstly, sir, there has been agricultural distress in Rajasthan, sir. And the remunerative aspect of agriculture is a key cause of concern. Secondly, sir, the industry aspect and the manufacturing sector. I think there is a dimension that we need to work upon, sir. And the services sector there is too much reliant on tourism, sir. And there needs to be renewed investments in mining sector, sir, to cure the unemployment aspects, sir.
There is a scheme of Government of India by the acronym PRANAM, P-R-A-N-A-M. Can you explain PRANAM for me? I'll give you a hint.
Yes, sir.
For the agriculture sector.
Sir, I may recall that PM Pranam was launched to...
Give me the extended name of PRANAM. What does PRANAM stand for?
Sir, I may not recall at the moment.
Fair enough. SETU, S-E-T-U, you should know it. It is for the startups in India.
Yes, sir.
SETU.
I apologize, sir, I do not know.
Vibrant Village Program, announced just 4 months back.
Yes, sir. It is specifically for the border districts in India, sir. And the...
Which districts of Rajasthan are being included in this?
Sir,
Rajasthan also is a border state.
yes, sir, I understand that. But I specifically read this in the context of Jammu and Kashmir, sir. So I may have to read it in Rajasthan as well.
Okay, tell me something about Rajasthan Guarantee Income Scheme 2023. What is it about?
Sir, urban employment guarantee has been recently provided by Government of Rajasthan, sir. And
Rajasthan Guarantee Income Scheme, not Urban Employment Scheme. Rajasthan Guarantee Income Scheme. July 2023.
sorry, sir, I'll read on it, sir.
You like watching movies?
Yes, sir, I do.
Which is the last movie you watched?
Sir, last I saw was this Tamil movie Vikram, in which the protagonist
Liked
fights.
it?
Yes, sir, I definitely
Thank
liked
you
it.
very much, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Wasn't it too violent, sir? Pururaj?
Yes, ma'am, there was portrayal of violence in the movie, but it was justified on the ground that it was for a better society and drug-free society.
So do you feel that violence is necessary otherwise for having a peaceful society? What about Gandhian principle of non-violence?
Ma'am, I think the Indian polity has very much combined these two aspects because Gandhiji prescribed non-violence, but at the same time he prescribed that we should not do cowardice in the face of adversity, ma'am. So the idea that the power has been given to the state to be exercised in these circumstances, whether it is drug trafficking or terrorism, I think the state is empowered with these powers and not the common man.
No,
sir.
but was Vikram a state agent? Was he anyhow employed by state? He was an individual out there.
No, ma'am. In this aspect, I differ with the movie that the characterization that individuals may rebel against certain actors points to a failure in the movie that the state agencies were not very much active at that time. It should have been the job of the state agencies, ma'am.
Okay. Now you belong to Jaipur, Rajasthan. And I was just witnessing you're very passionate about IPS. Your email ID is also having IPS in it. Right? So Jaipur hosted a very important event regarding policing. What was that?
Ma'am, Jaipur held the annual, I may not recall, it was not an annual event. It was the meeting for Director Generals of Police of various states and union territories, ma'am.
It is an annual event.
Then I'll read on.
Okay.
Okay.
So tell me, what was the major outcome of this meeting? The Honorable Prime Minister who presided the meeting, he came out with a catch line, a phrase. What was that?
Ma'am, I do not recall the phrase, but I remember some of the key outcomes.
Okay, tell me.
Since the government has brought 3 new reform laws, ma'am, they will be gradually implemented first in the union territories and then in the states. And in that direction, the technological advancement of police has been highlighted, that we should move in that direction.
Are you sure they'll be gradually implemented in UT and then states?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure. This year they will be implemented in the UTs, ma'am, and the experience will be recorded by the government.
Okay. The PM stated that the danda should be replaced with data in policing.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I have given you the phrase. Now tell me, let's say tomorrow if you're posted as a SP of a district, how you're going to utilize data and not danda in your policing?
Ma'am, to my mind, this statement signifies that in order to persecute a particular person, there should be concrete evidence in the form of data with the police. So, in order to effectively form a case against someone or to bring about the pursuance of justice, I will first analyze all the evidence at hand, maybe in the form of CCTV evidence or forensic evidence, and then only will I be able to form a case against someone. There have been instances that custodian violence.
Okay,
and-
fine. Anything
ma'am.
else?
Ma'am, I think police itself needs to be technologically more advanced because artificial intelligence, blockchain, etc. These technologies are on the rise and newer forms of crimes are emerging, ma'am. So, in this direction, a renewed focus on police training is required, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else? You're still missing a very key point of policing. How are you going to utilize the data in it?
Ma'am, I apologize. I
Okay.
cannot recall.
Now, you're a chemistry student also,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Any chemical reaction happening right now in this room?
Ma'am, variety of reactions may be happening within our bodies at this point of time.
Right.
For instance, the gastric acid is actively digesting our food in the stomach.
Okay, okay. Anything else?
Ma'am, a chemical reaction is occurring that the oxygen that we are taking is actively being bound with the hemoglobin and it is being...
Okay, that sums it up. It's happening in our body. Respiration, digestion, these are all chemical reactions. Okay.
ma'am.
Anything else?
Sorry, ma'am, I cannot recall
Okay.
it.
Now, you have been a mentor also, right?
ma'am.
Academic mentor. Tell me, what are the essential attributes of a mentor?
Ma'am, first and foremost, a mentor should be a good listener. Secondly, ma'am, a mentor should be someone who can confide, who is sensitive enough so that the students may confide in him. And he should be able to imbibe trust in the students. And lastly, ma'am, a mentor should be objective in his approach. He should be able to convince students on very concrete grounds what is right and what is wrong.
So don't you think that you forgot a very essential attribute of being a mentor, that you should be capable enough to be a mentor first of all? Are you getting me? That if you're not capable enough, these are all qualities which you listed, being a listener, being able to confide in. A friend can also do the same thing for a person. But being mentor means that somebody who's having the knowledge of the subject and who can actually has the capability to guide the person, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, there was some issue regarding NATO. What was that? It was in discussion
Yes, ma'am.
for the last 10 days. Why?
Ma'am, Sweden has been approved to be an active member of NATO, ma'am.
Okay.
And Finland had already joined in.
So how much is the membership now?
Ma'am, I apologize, I do not know the exact number at that point.
Okay. Before Sweden, NATO? No idea. Sorry, Finland?
Ma'am, North Macedonia joined in 2010, as I recall. It was the third
No,
last
I'm
member.
asking. Okay. It was also in news due to some statement by our former president. Are you aware regarding NATO?
No, ma'am, I'm not aware.
Okay. Now, have you heard this term Finlandization?
No, ma'am, I have not heard.
Okay. Do you want to make an educated guess now, since Finland has just become a member of NATO? I'm giving you enough hints. And Finland has historically been dash country.
Ma'am, it has been a neutral power since both the world wars. And
So now can you relate it? Now the neutral power has taken a side. So what would this term signify?
ma'am, I see this as a precautionary act in the face of Russian aggression. Russian aggression has forced even a neutral power to join a particular bloc, and it is a significant event in the global politics, ma'am.
Okay, what is happening in our neighborhood, Pakistan?
Ma'am, Pakistan is currently suffering from an economic crisis, and there were recent elections in Pakistan. Yesterday, only the Prime Minister had taken oath.
Who is the Prime Minister?
Ma'am, Shehbaz Sharif.
Okay. How was he elected? Wasn't it Nawaz Sharif who was, who is heading the PML?
Ma'am, Shehbaz Sharif is considered to be in good terms with the army there. And since Pakistan's elections are not entirely free and fair like India, the army exercised a big role in choosing the prime ministerial candidate, ma'am.
So you mean to say that army actually put a stamp on Shehbaz Sharif, then Nawaz Sharif?
Ma'am, as highlighted in the newspapers, army has been a key player in this regard, ma'am. And also the power sharing agreement to neutralize the PTI. I think these two factors have exemplified this fact that prime ministerial candidate has been chosen and not actually elected, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.